Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to another episode of Funday Sunday, and once again we are in our Tier 10 USN cruiser, the Des Moines, and this is a very fantastic game. As you will see, it will actually break a record for me, but I don't really want to spoil it as of yet. We are currently playing on two brothers. We have a Montana, North Carolina, two Tirpitz, a Bismarck, Des Moines, Minotaur, Hindenburg, Zhao, Magami, Shimakaze, and a Fletcher. On the enemy team, there is a Kurfürst, North Carolina, Tirpitz, Bismarck, a Magi, two Hindenburgs, Zhao, Moskva, Baltimore, Shimakaze, and a Fletcher. So I spawned on the south hand side and we are playing Domination. And we have about half our team is currently moving off east and half our team is moving off west. Now I am pushing out west with at least the Shimakaze and two battleships and another cruiser. We have a Minotaur, Tirpitz, North Carolina, and a Magami with us, while the enemy team, or friendly team moving out east, has the Zhao, Hindenburg, Montana, Tirpitz, and the Bismarck, while we do have a Fletcher that is currently moving to sea. Now, and a lot of people were not happy with the Fletcher doing what he is doing. They were at least wanting some help at D because the enemy team has the exact same destroyer composition that we do. And more than likely, if the team does split up correctly, at least one destroyer will be moving towards A and one towards D. Now, we do know there's at least a destroyer in at A, because obviously it is currently being capped, and we do see a smoke cloud. Now, the Des Moines can be a very aggressive / passive ship. If you play it right, you can do significant amount of damage, but major thing is going to be the radar. The radar lasts for about 35 seconds and has a range around 9.9 kilometers, so that's something to keep in mind. Now we are being located. It looks like we're the ones to push up the closest, or at least we're closest to whoever has RDF. The Fletcher is moving in behind us, and we pop our radar, and there is the enemy Shimakaze backing up, probably trying to drop some torps on our friendlies, and I have high explosive going. And let's see, can we take out the enemy Shimakaze? Shimakaze is getting hammered away by the entire friendly team. Can we take out the destroyer very early? He's very low on health, just one more salvo, and there we go. First blood for us. So that has left us essentially out forward, but we only see at least an enemy Tirpitz, but there's also an enemy Hindenburg. Now the enemy Hindenburg is pushing out. I switched over to AP. Let's see. I would love to Citadel. The AP on the USN cruisers are pretty fantastic. They have high penetration values, and first salvo we net ourselves a Citadel, and at this point you would think the enemy Hindenburg would actually start moving away. Nope. Another Citadel. He's still fighting. He's not turning. We knock out his engine, get another Citadel, and I've angled myself away just so I don't show off my broadside as easily. So my back gun is actually not able to fire, but we get another Citadel, and one more salvo should be able to finish off this Hindenburg. He is trying to use his heal, but no success on his part. We take out the enemy Hindenburg, and that is the second kill of the game. Very nice. So our team is ahead 2 ships, but we've already lost our Tirpitz. So that's not really good news, but we are taking A while the enemy team has taken D. Now the enemy Tirpitz is essentially running away. I don't really blame him. He is by himself on this western front against almost the entire enemy team, and he really doesn't like me. And this will become evident as the game progresses. Now the enemy Bismarck is essentially pushing out, but our friendly Fletcher does lay down a smoke, more for his sake than mine, but I'm going to actually use this for the benefit of attacking this Bismarck. Now the AP does a fantastic job against broadside battleships. You can see there we did about 7,000 points of damage, and with the high reload of fire on our guns really dishes out the pain. And there is the enemy Baltimore just sitting perfectly still, fully broadside towards us. Let's see if we can actually punish him. 2 citadels. Can we punish this Baltimore? We do lose our friendly Megami, but we are not detected. We are in the safety of the smoke screen, and net us another citadel. This Baltimore is about to go down. Can we get a 3rd kill? Yes, we can. Very, very nice. That is our 3rd kill of the game. We have done around 130,000 points of damage. Not too bad. And here, probably a good idea is probably switching over to HE, but I do see a low health Zhao. More than likely, the Zhao has taken some citadel damage from a enemy battleship, and this Bismarck is just having a bad day. Does go down to the Fletcher's torpedoes, and look at the east-hand side. The east-hand side, our forces have actually been pushed all the way south behind that island, and they are essentially going to be no way to push. There is the Kurfürst that is pushing down. The Kurfürst is a very tanky ship and very hard to at least citadel. It's doable, but can happen. But the friendly team on the eastern side has essentially let the enemy team control that area, and this Zhao is 200 points of health on him, and the friendly Tirpitz does take down the enemy Zhao. Now, here is probably a point in the match where I make a mistake. I have a Kurfürst to the east of me, and I do not want to show a broadside to that Kurfürst. But I also have a enemy Tirpitz 14 kilometers north of me, and it's pretty much either pick your poison. Which would you prefer being hit by, a enemy Tirpitz or a enemy Kurfürst? I choose the lesser of the two evils. Now, granted, I probably could have stayed safe and could have not fired, but I wanted some damage, to say the very least. Tirpitz opens up a salvo of HE. I kind of angle in, but I am very weary of that Kurfürst out east of me, because he can possibly done some damage, but I think fortunately I am actually safe at the moment, and I wasn't really paying attention. I will fully admit this right now, that I probably could have been paying attention a little bit more so to the location. And the Tirpitz opens up his salvo with AP, and can you guess what's about to happen? We get citadeled, get a fairly decent sized damage. It looks around 15,000 points of damage was hit on us, but we get the enemy Tirpitz. That is the 4th kill of the game. Very, very nice. Now, the enemy team has lost 6 ships to R2, but they're still heavily pushing into D and is currently taking C. I was spotted there momentarily from the destroyer down in C. He just spotted me right as I went across that alley in the middle of the islands, but the enemy team is still pushing heavily. Now, all that I have left on my side, probably should point this out, is a North Carolina Tirpitz who is way back there. Don't know exactly what he's doing, but we do have a Minotaur, a Fletcher, and the Shimakaze with us as well. Now, I'm being very, very aggressive. I really would like to deal more damage, and also it would help our team that is currently fleeing away. It is the Bismarck, I think the Montana, the Hindenburg Zhao are all trying to actually flee from the enemy team that has pushed them all the way south. Now, this is kind of silly for the enemy team, because they are allowing them to be pinchered. They are preventing, basically allowing us to push into them, while they still have the other team still to the south of them. So they are kind of making a mistake by allowing us to actually push this far in, and we do lose our Montana, our Hindenburg, and our Fletcher within a span of 5 seconds. So that has actually put us closer towards each other. Now, the Kurfürst knows there is a Des Moines sitting right behind him. I do switch over to HE, but I'm going to use this island for my advantage. Now, the Des Moines bow armor is fantastic. It can actually ricochet shells as long as it's angled toward the enemy ship. And here is where the HE spam really becomes potent. Open the salvo, do get a fire on him, but the enemy Kerfur's captain does just knock out that fire. So therefore, in about 15 seconds, he should be able to take another fire, and he would be unable to control it. Now here I am actually starting to pull back from the Kerfurs, allow this island to protect me from his incoming fire. This is going to save me a little bit of time, but we do catch a fire on the enemy Kerfurs, and that is going to burn for almost the full duration of the fire. So we're going to gain damage off of them. So our team has pushed south. It looks like half of them went south. We do have a Minotaur that is currently trying to take out the Fletcher, and we do earn Confederate. We've done about 186,000 points of damage, so pretty good. I think that's pretty good damage. The Kerfurs has switched minds, and this is where the Kerfurs probably should have just turned around and confronted us. We just lost our friendly Tirpitz to the North Carolina, and that was one of our last few battleships. We only have the Montana and the North Carolina, I believe, left on our team. Oh no, we only have the North Carolina and the Bismarck left on our team, and I've done the majority of the kills, and we've earned high caliber. And just look at this fire damage we are able to get in. And even though I can't get my back gun into position, I don't want to take the chance of possibly getting Citadel. I still can bring on the pain. We got another fire on that Kerfurs, and now I switch over to AP, and I want to get some AP damage in, and it looks like he just knocked out the fire. I'm going to go ahead and switch back over to HE, and let's see if we can get some more fires on this Kerfurs. Now, how I'm playing is very passive, but it's a great technique. It prevents me from taking excess amount of damage, and I'm still able to deal damage towards this Kerfurs. And this Kerfurs has lost the majority of his health from me. At the very least, North Carolina has helped. And we open up another salvo of HE, and he's prone for more fires. And if we can just get another fire, there we go. Another fire is set on his bow, and we've just lost our friendly Bismarck. And all that's left on the enemy team is 3 of their battleships, a cruiser, and a destroyer. And the Kerfurs is hammering away with his secondaries, but he is so low on health, and that fire is just ticking away his health very quickly. And I do switch over to AP. I want to finish this Kerfurs off as fast as possible. We just did 8,000 points of damage. Can we kill him? There we go. We got Kraken unleashed. 5th kill of the game. Very nice. And now the enemy team only has two battleships and a destroyer. And we do know there's a North Carolina Moggy and the enemy, I believe that's the enemy Fletcher that's left. Yes, it is. And the North Carolina on the enemy team has taken very little amount of damage, but we do get a fire on him. And we have done almost 245,000 points of damage. Let's see how much damage we can get. Open up another salvo. Let's see, can we get another fire? There we go. Another fire set on that North Carolina. He has switched his targeting to us. And I'm going to go ahead and angle in, and we've just earned Witherer. Something I don't get all too often. It is essentially dealing, I believe, a majority of your damage from HE, or at least a good percentage from fires at the very most. And this North Carolina is having to retreat. He's having to retreat at a certain angle. We do land a fire, but it does not stick because he does have damage control up. But this next fire we got on him does stick. And let's see, how much damage can we do? Can we get over 275,000 points of damage? That would be fantastic. I'm just going to keep up the HE spam. I would love to switch over to AP, but his angle is just too harsh. And he does land actually a pretty decent hit against us, but he is essentially being focused on by the Minotaur, by the North Carolina, and there's very little they can actually do. The Moggy's very low in health. He's on fire. This team was doing a really good push, but allowed the west side of our team to actually get around behind them, and we just got the 6th kill of the game. And all that's left is the Fletcher and the Amagi, and the points just keep creeping up for us. And I don't really think there's very much that the enemy team can do because we won the game. So our team earned a victory and we received 677,682 silver, 7,887 XP, and 395 free XP. We earned a Confederate, Witherer, First Blood, Kraken Unleashed, and High Caliber. And this is where this game broke a personal record for me and also put me on the 5th highest spot of Des Moines damage on the North American server. So right now I am currently sitting at number 5 as far as highest Des Moines damage there is on the North American server, with 283,043 points of damage. 283,043 points of damage. That is fantastic. 330 shell hits, 4 incapacitations, 6 kills, 13 fires, 9 citadels, 4 assisted base captures, and 5 secondary hits. And we earned top of the team with a base XP of 3,392. That doesn't happen all too often. It is becoming harder just to get over 3,000 on playing a usual game. Playing this fantastic game, we almost cracked 4,000 points of base XP, which is just downright fantastic. So with damage done, we did around 77,597 points of damage against the Curvers. That is about 75% of his normal health just against one battleship. We did 52,000 against the Hindenburg, 41,000 against North Carolina, 39 against the Tirpitz, and around 39 against the Baltimore as well. So overall, our high explosive did around 64,000, AP did 148,000, and our fires did around 68,561 points of health. That is just downright fantastic. I love my Des Moines right now. So after everything is said and done, 447,865 was put into the bank, and this has become pretty much my best game as far as damage output is. This is my best game. This is my highest damage I've ever done. So this is actually going to be it for this episode of Funday Sunday. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Sai Jen.